So I saw Tenet. Bruh. I'll tell you something off rip about this film. You have to keep up. You have to keep up at all times. Don't go into this movie thinking you're going to understand everything immediately. As a matter of fact, there is a part in the movie where one of the characters is speaking to another character saying, don't try to understand it. Just feel it. And me as an audience member watching this film took that quote and ran with it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the first half of the movie, there's a lot of exposition. There's a lot of, telling you how certain things work, trying to show you what's going on.
You communicate with the future.
Time travel.
No. Inversion.
Aim it and pull the trigger. You're not shooting the bullet, you're catching it.
Whoa. Well, I've seen too much. Well, we'll try and keep up.
And it's almost as if the movie is like trying to be like, yo, you better keep up or else you're going to miss stuff. Definitely not a movie you could get up and go to the bathroom during, because you miss one thing, you're going to be super confused. Now, watching this film, I was a little confused, but I like the films that leave me confused in the beginning and then all of a sudden everything comes together later. This movie, once it gets to like that midway point, just takes the hell off and you are in for a ride that does not stop until the very end of the movie. I personally feel like this is a movie that you absolutely have to watch twice in order to fully appreciate and enjoy the film. I saw it once, but I'm thinking back because I'm trying to be very careful as to how I speak about it because I don't want to spoil anything. There's a lot of things that take place earlier on in the movie, but they happen so quick, and if you blink, you miss it, right? And then those very things that happen so quickly, you realize why they happened later. Because it's one of those things where you're watching the movie and you're like, wait a minute, that was, oh, oh man, oh, and that was supposed to be, and that was, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of that. Mark my words. Everything that I just did, you're probably gonna do it when you get to that halfway point of the film, because stuff is happening. Something happens, right? I'm really trying hard not to spoil it. Something happens in the film. And you're thinking, oh man, that was crazy. Then later on in the film, you see something, you're like, wait a minute. Oh, that's crazy. Like, every time something is revealed, like another thing is revealed, you're like, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's great. Like, you get more and more, like, shocked and dumbfounded as the movie goes on. My head hurts. This movie is going to blow your mind. Now, what I didn't like, how in the beginning it felt like it was a little rushed in terms of trying to explain to you how things work. And it was almost like it was forcing you to keep up. Because I'm like, look, we got to show you some really dope stuff. But before we get to that, we got to show you all this just so you can appreciate the dope stuff we're going to show you later. So I wasn't really a fan of a lot of the fast-paced, this is how this happens and this is how this works. Wasn't really a fan of that. But I sat through it because I knew, me being a Christopher Nolan fan, I knew there was going to be a huge payoff for going on this ride. So I don't like how it was kind of forcing you to keep up, but they more than made up for it after that halfway point. I really liked the overall concept of how things worked. the scenes, man, some of the action sequences. There's a couple of sequences, man, that just, man, like my head, your eyes stay glued to the screen the entire time, and you're just like, the whole time. I promise you, that's what you're gonna do. Overall, man, I give this movie an A-. I give this movie an A-. The thing that stopped it from being an A+ was the exposition and the speed that the exposition took place for the beginning of the movie. I really think that's it. There were certain parts where some of the dialogue was drowned out by the music, but I'm starting to get the impression, now that I'm thinking back, I'm starting to get the impression that that was done on purpose. If you really want a movie that's like a complete mind screw, watch Tenet ASAP. It's freaking incredible.